Lacy and Kai, you're looking extremely clean tonight. Is it the water pressure in Spain? It's pretty good, isn't it?
Lovely.
I just clocked that one.
I was thinking, what?
I was like, huh? Good one.
This season is boring. Or is it just me? Or maybe I need to wait until I catch up and then it will pick up. Because at the moment, nothing stands out. I think the storyline with Lacy is now boring. And so I'm hoping that the guys choose to send her home because it's rinse, recycle, repeat. And we can't put up with any more of that. And then I hate how sort of empty-headed Mick is coming across. I really hope there is more to his storyline than what we get to see, because all he seems to be is, he seems to be the guy who everybody runs to when they're in crisis or need something to eat. And I wish we could see some more depth to him, or maybe he's waiting until the right girl comes in for him and then we'll get to see the depth. And then, I really loved that they were very sensitive when it came to Gabby and Jotham in the Hideaway, because we've seen some inappropriate stuff before. So I'm really happy that we didn't get to see anything that they as islanders might be embarrassed about, because Jotham said he had promised his family, or he had made a promise that he wouldn't be physically intimate or sexually intimate with anyone. So I'm happy that he was able to uphold his promise. Anyway, hey there, thanks for stopping by. It's Valerie. Welcome to my channel. If you're new here, don't forget to subscribe, click the like button, turn on the notification bell for when I upload new videos, and definitely leave a comment. In this episode, I'll be reviewing Love Island Australia, Season 7, Episode 11. So we pick up from, the islanders having come up back from this forbidden fruit challenge, and so there is drama in the villa at the moment because we have Lacy and Kia. They're not seeing straight because Lacy feels betrayed because Kai promised that Kia promised he wouldn't touch his ex Yana, and he did. And it's like, I get where he's coming from, in the sense that he's saying, you can't tell me not to touch somebody and then you go and do exactly that. Make that make sense. And Lacy is pretending to be ditzy or dumb. She knows exactly what she's doing. She really does, because how does she expect all her partners to sort of jump at her say so, and then she won't do anything that sort of is sort of as a way of sort of showing respect to her partner. So I am here for Kai. Finally, Kia sort of giving her a taste of her own medicine, because I think Jotham with him, he was just fed up and he just washed his hands and walked off. So they storm off because they can't reach common ground, because Kia is standing his ground, Lacy is standing her ground. So they storm off. Lacy is going to the girls. She's screaming and shouting, he can't stand the fact that I have big cojones. And it's not, ma'am, it's not big cojones. Somebody needs to explain something to her, because the audacity to think you can sort of disrespect somebody and then say, because I've got big cojones, that's not it. That's not it. So I don't get where she's coming from. And Jotham will die on this tree, on this hill, because he keeps saying that I've dealt with this. This is who she is. This is how she behaves in a connection. When I was getting to know Gabby, this is how she was. She didn't want me to do anything with Gabby because she wanted to know that she more or less wants to own you and tell you what to do and when to do it and how to do it. So I get the guy sort of teaming up and saying this is not it. I'm surprised the girls didn't correct her, or maybe they're just fed up of the whole drama and they just want it to come to an end. Anyway, the islanders get ready for the night. They all go out. They have a toast, which is obviously led by Tamara, and then they go and they sit down and have drinks. And as they're sitting there, you have Lacy is waiting. She is waiting and seething and hoping that, Kia will pull her for a chat. He doesn't, until she stared him down. And then eventually he pulled her for a chat. And it was rinse, recycle, repeat. Rinse, recycle, repeat. They're going round in circles. And I don't understand whether Lacy is that... is that much of a genius? Okay, I don't like to say derogatory things. Is that much of a genius that she can't sort of understand what this man is saying? And so for her not to say, okay, I'm so sorry, we set boundaries. Yes, I broke the boundaries first, and I want to apologize, and then explain why she is more offended by what he did, that would have made more sense, but still she won't do that. She has to come out first. So in the end, they still couldn't reach an understanding. And it's like, girl, how many more times are we going to go over this before we understand each other? You have Yana. She is speaking to Matteo and is sort of trying to suss Matteo out. I don't know why Matteo just doesn't come out and tell her that I don't want you because of the drama that comes with you. that would have helped her a lot. Instead of him going around in circles and saying that, he wants to get to know somebody else and whatever, he should have just come out and told Yana that, I want to get to know somebody else. She is saying she's frazzled and so she doesn't know what to do. They spoke about Kia and Lacy that they're going in circles. They're just doing tit for tat. And it's like, maybe the two of you should focus on yourself and leave these two alone. Anyway, while Yana is having a conversation, she receives a text message. Islanders, tonight the Hideaway is open. Gabby and Jotham, please enjoy your private night together. And it's like, how normally people would vote who goes. So why is the production are particular about Gabby and Jotham going? I know they're about to create drama. I know they're about to bring someone to try and break them up. Hashtag the door is rocking, don't come knocking. Hashtag links fine fragrance. And it's like product placement. They do know how to do that. Everyone is excited for them because they are always all over each other. Obviously, Jotham is worried because he promised himself that he wouldn't have sex in the villa, so he was worried about that. I love that you had Gabby sort of having a shower, making sure she was properly dressed, and then she told the girls that, can you go and check what he's wearing, because if he wears, his fruit, whatever, I'm going to be turned off. So the fact that Jotham was actually asking the guys for their opinions, made sure he put on the right shorts, and then he had the guys sort of, they were there as his perfume assistants and they were sort of spraying deodorant under themselves. Links, obviously, because that was being advertised. And then eventually found the fragrance of his choice. He and Gabby then met. They went to the Hideaway. They're excited. I love that production was a bit better this time. I think Jotham must have spoken with them before they went in and said, I can't do this because I'll get in trouble. And so I think this is why they were very respectful, because they didn't get to show them as much as they normally would show somebody else. And so I'm happy with that. I'm happy that there was respect to some extent. You then had Tamara having a chat with Matteo. They spoke about video games that they like to play. It seems they have that in common. I personally see Medi where as soon as I look at Matteo, I don't know whether anybody else sees that. They spoke about their connection, and Mick was saying he's not bothered, because he said, she can chat to him as much as she wants, but when the time comes, she'll come back to daddy. And it's like, Mick is crazy. Mick, it really is crazy. He doesn't care and is not bothered by whatever nonsense is going on around him, or so it seems. You then had another chat again between Lacy and Kia, and eventually they agreed to disagree and they were going to move on. So they decided they were going to make up and they were going to sleep outside. Everybody got ready for bed. And you had obviously Jotham and Gabby in the Hideaway. They were very PG, which I love. The lights went out. Everybody went to sleep. Well, some people were busy. I'm pleasantly surprised that production gave the night in the Hideaway to Gabby and Jotham. They didn't give it to Connor and Isabel, even though they say, they're the couple that's set for life, or they didn't give it to Sean and Ross because they've been looking for privacy. So I'm pleasantly surprised that that didn't take place. Anyway, in the morning, you have the Islanders get up. You have Mike and Tara having a conversation, and Mike is just joking as per usual. He's just joking as per usual. And you have Tara sort of getting put off because she really wants him to open up, but he's not opening up. I think he's realizing that he might lose her because she seems to be spending more time with Matteo. He spoke about wanting more deeper chats with her, and she, I think, was hoping he would do that. Anyway, they then receive a text message that goes, Tara and Mike settle up and prepare to leave the villa for a romantic date. Hashtag giddy up, hashtag great rides. They know that Mateo is coming in hot and is really trying to win Tamara over. So they're trying to stop him from sort of stealing Tamara from Mike. That's the impression that I get. I like Mike, so I want him to stay in the villa. You had them go on this horseback riding date. I thought it was the cutest thing ever. I really loved it. I thought it was sweet. Well, because they made up the last night, you suddenly have Kia and Lacy go for a shower. The fact that Jotham saw them and ran and investigated to make sure he had seen what he saw, and then he went out and he told everyone was interesting. For Isabel to say she wants to use the toilet, Isabel just wanted to see what was going on. That's the impression that I get. She just wanted to see what was going on, and for her to then go and get Shan and the two of them to be standing there and listening in, I don't get it. I think they did what they did, and then production told them to put on the clothes, and then eventually we had, Kia wearing a pair of boxer shorts, because initially he wasn't wearing anything. And it's like, these people, they know they're on TV and they're doing something like this. What do they expect? Anyway, so you then had everyone know what was happening in the shower, and poor Yana has to sit through this. I think what's his name? Kia is very insensitive. I think he's very insensitive because of some of the things that he's done, knowing for a fact that he's got an ex in the villa and how she's going to be hurt by what he's doing. So the audacity for him to sort of be making out with someone, knowing that his ex saved him to be in the villa, doesn't make sense, unless he's just doing that for the theatrics. You have Mike and Tamara's date. I thought it was sweet. I loved that he started to open up. I don't know whether it's a little too late, but it was cute to actually see him try to open up and try to have conversations about where he is in regards starting a connection with someone. Do I think there's something romantic there? I think they like the flirting, and I think Mike likes the fact that he can flirt with her, he can joke with her. I don't know whether he sees her as a serious connection. So they then came back to the villa and they were having conversations with everyone and sort of telling everyone about their date. Mike and Tamara seemed happy. Poor Matteo didn't seem that impressed because he is the one who's been trying to explore Tamara. And so the fact that Tamara is now exploring somebody else is something that wasn't on his bingo card as far as I'm concerned. So I think he's sort of struggling to sort of see what he can do. The islanders get ready for the night. It's revealed that, Kia and Lacy were physically intimate. Everybody now knows. Anyway, they get ready for the night. They come around, they gather on, they pick up their drinks. They're having an amazing time. And then they receive a text message that gather around the fire pit. So everybody goes to the fire pit because they were nervous. Even when they were getting ready for the night, they were already nervous because they didn't know whether a bombshell was coming in or whether they were going home. So they gather around the fire pit. Sophie Monk arrives and Sophie reveals that the Superfans production have been voting and they've decided who is the favorite Islanders. So they start with the boys. They say Kia, Connor, and Mike can sit down, which then leaves Mateo, Ross, and Jotham as the three Islanders standing. I was worried. I really was worried. So I was happy when they were told that, you are the favorites. You're the ones who've received the highest votes. So they got to stand at the front of the fire pit. Then it came up to the girls, Tamara, Sean, and Isabel. So the girls left vulnerable were Yana, Gabby, and Lacy. I think Lacy should go home. I don't think Lacy brings anything to except for confusion to the villa. So I think it's her time. So the guys are informed that it's time for them to go and vote and decide who is going home. So I love the conversations that they clearly understood that there was no way Gabby was going to be voted out when Jotham was one of the people voting, unless he didn't want to explore anything with her. So obviously she was safe, which left Yana and Lacy. I am 100% with Jotham when he says with Lacy it's a bit difficult in the sense that even Ross said it, that she was crying but she didn't know how to pronounce your name and she was saying, she's sad that you've been stolen. So I think the guys can see through Lacy's mess and I have a feeling that she is the one who's going home. I don't think production would want Yana sent home because Yana is bringing the drama with the theatrics and the tears, and I think they haven't yet broken her, or they're hoping that she'll eventually get back with Kia. So I can't wait to see who's dumped in the next episode. Anyway, thanks guys for watching. Please don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. Click on the link in my video to watch my review from episode 10. Bye everyone.